Welcome back to weekend movie, bro.
Every fucking time. I can't drink on movie commentaries. I can't drink on trailer reactions, and I can't drink water. I have to be specific here. Water during fucking podcasts. Can I drink a drink, please? Just a sip.
Hello, I'm Jacob. That is idiot.
And that's Jake, and that's Magic Mike.
If you know, you know. If you don't
Listen,
know, you know.
listen. I'm consistent with two things now on this show. That is Magic Mike and the outro.
Fuck the outro. All right, this is the second podcast for the month we're covering in May. The first one I'll link up in the cards for anybody who wants to check it out. And if you're listening to this audio, you get to listen to it a little bit early. I don't think there's any stories that we have this month that require you to jump over to the video one if you so desire for pictures and stuff like
June.
that.
June will be that month.
June will be that month. Yeah, I would definitely recommend, but
we, we,
that's a different
we
story.
love we love our audio listeners very very much. However, June is a very just it's a visual feast, if you will. We'll get when we get there. We'll get there.
We have some stuff to go over. I'm assuming this will be one of our shorter podcasts, but that's perfectly fine with me. I think that's perfectly
We'll
fine.
find ways to make this an hour and a half. We're that kind of people.
We are. We are a tangent type of family. That is really what we are. So let's go ahead and let's see if I
Getting
can.
all of these in now because I know you're gonna make me laugh at some point.
Let's see if
So
I can
Jacob,
make
talk
them
about
laugh.
the Little Mermaid.
All right.
Speaking of Under the Sea,
Let's talk about the Little Mermaid and the tentacle board. Damn it.
I'm so glad before it happened.
Anything else?
If
Would
you
you
would
like
have
another
said
drink?
no, if you would have said scuttlebutt, there'd be everything over my computer.
Could you take another drink from me just for a quick
I'm
second?
good now. I'm refreshed.
But I can use the word octopussy.
No,
Damn.
sorry.
Asshole. All right. Well, I saw the Little Mermaid in theaters.
And that's his review. Moving on.
Fuck you. I really like this one. Let's talk about it. So I like Zachary. I think we both can. He didn't see it, but I'm going to use him as an example here. I think we can both agree the trailers were a bit underwhelming. I thought some of the posters that they released, especially for AR, were gorgeous. But other than that, I felt like the advertisement pretty much sucked for this movie. And I think that's really what
felt like they didn't know how to advertise it when it came to the teasers, and because they kept doing like teaser 1, teaser 2, teaser 3, teaser 3.5, main trailer, teaser number 4. I'm like, where are you at with this movie? And in my opinion, they really didn't promote the music of this movie, which I found very odd.
Yes, I would also agree. I did find it very odd because the music in this one is particularly well. It's particularly well done. I'd say everything was. I do have to say some of the underwater stuff because how they shot the underwater still isn't as good. But my thing here is I saw Avatar 2, The Way of Water, and we should have a commentary out to that in case you want to watch it. That one should be done by the time this goes up. But either way, with that being said, it's so gorgeous and so well done, like everything on the entire experience of that it's hard to like really compete. And I think I've had a hard time since Avatar 2 came out with several movies where I'm like, but you could have been Avatar 2 level good for visuals.
Out of curiosity, have you gone back and looked at Aquaman at all since seeing Avatar 2?
No, Zachary, I have not.
Jacob, let me tell you something. It is like looking at a 1994.
Yeah, here's the thing. Zachary never liked Aquaman. I liked Aquaman, so I'll let you know how I actually.
No, I like the visuals in Aquaman, but going from
yes, I have a review. I have a podcast where you specifically said not. It's on this channel. Yeah, I can link it.
Bullshit.
See, there we go. He's just looking for a way to shit on it.
Much like with Jacob, Aquaman did not deserve $1.1 billion.
You know who did? Ursula's not, damn it.
You're gonna try now. You're looking for it.
I could do a little murder on the podcast. Not a bad idea. So, either way, and also it would be a really good thumbnail. Just saying, it would be a good thumbnail. You know me, I'm looking for
content as a way to get me to do it. That's not gonna work.
Just saying. Okay, so with the Little Mermaid, back to the story here. This one, obviously, it follows Ariel as she wants to go up into the human world because she believes her world is too small for her. is really like what the consensus here.
Which is
Which is actually kind of interesting because like you have the entire ocean,
entire
even
ocean.
though, but it is kind of boring down there. So I get it, but like
You feel kind of blue.
one of my big takeaways from this one is I really liked some of the changes that they made. I ignored you. I liked a lot of the changes that they made for this story. It's not so much on the lines of Ariel needs to be like head over heels trying to find love or anything. It really is that she is looking for an adventure. She really wants to go and explore the world and it just happens to be that, she falls in love while exploring the world or this little portion of the world. The songs were phenomenal. Halle Bailey does a phenomenal job. Most of the visuals really work for me, especially as the movie continues on. The undersea, unlike with like say Black Panther, is very bright. It's very lively. The trailers did not do it justice whatsoever. And I would even say the visuals look nice underneath the sea. The hair movement is very fluid. And the only one that I did not really like acting wise, was Javier Bardem. I think he was just really miscast as King Triton. It has a much bigger stake level to it than I would say the original does. There's some real consequences, some actions that are taken, and Scuttle and the little
Sebastian.
no flounder should have been cut. They should not have been in the movie at all. They serve zero purpose for the film,
Also,
and
Flounder isn't rounder. Like, what happened there?
and the realistic approach once again, it does not really work in the film either. It doesn't make them expression enough.
But can I ask you? Yes, I was going to ask. When it came to Flounder specifically and Scuttle, did they have more emotion than most of the cats in Lion King, or was it kind of on the
Yes,
same
yeah,
thing?
yeah. I would definitely say there's more emotion than most of the cats in Lion King for sure.
And then
Yeah,
that to me is
definitely.
always a win.
Yeah, I'd say it's in the same vein of like
Jungle Book.
uh Beauty and the Beast, where how we were like, oh, the animatronic objects and stuff are not going to have like a
You're
lot of
comparing a
emotion.
fish to a fork.
I am. The clock really, really, I feel like is where the standout is here. So,
It took
with
its
that being
time.
said,
Oh wait,
overall,
I have some
it
questions
was.
for
I don't
you.
know. I just think,
Ursula?
yeah, for sure. You're a little buffering, but yeah, go.
Oh, Ursula?
Oh, right. Yeah, let's talk about Ursula. Ursula is used sparingly. She's by far the weakest live action villain that they've adapted so far. Jafar had way more scenes. Gaston had way more scenes. Ursula's there
Was
for the
Jafar
con.
interesting though?
He was hot. That made up for a lot of it.
Interesting is my word here.
Yeah, he was hot and made up for a lot of it. I'm not changing my response.
So is Ursula not interesting?
Ursula is I guess she is interesting. I guess in a way. She's only in it for like 4 scenes of the movie. One of those being her song, which was really well done, really well choreographed, and things.
How was Melissa
Melissa
McCarthy? Like,
McCarthy, I never noticed this Melissa McCarthy when she's doing one of her like fail-safe comedies. So I guess in her regard, I was like, that's Ursula. So good for her. I just didn't really know if there's anything for her to do. Also, if you've seen the original with the ending, it is a little weird. I ain't gonna lie. It's a little weird if you know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm
oh,
talking
it
about,
is. So
you'll find out.
isn't like on like a MODOK level kind of weird?
No, I'd say it's a little better than MODOK, but it was an interesting visual for sure. Definitely wanted
Because I
to work
remember in the
for
old movie when that happens, her eyes get a lot bigger and she
like
just
for
goes,
instance, I feel
whoa.
like Descendants 2
Did it better?
did it better. More like I felt like that was more grounded, more realistic. I don't know how I feel about that, but that's nor here nor there. If you know, you know. If you don't know, it's fine. I'm not going to spoil anything. Also, I want to give a shout out to Jamie Alexander, who has a very small role, but a lot of people are talking about her. She shows up for the third act, and she does a phenomenal. There's a particular moment where she screams. It's beautiful.
Jamie Alexander.
I can't tell you.
No, would I know who that is?
No, you wouldn't know who that is. No,
So
she
when I
isn't
think
really.
Jamie Alexander, I think Lady Sif.
Yeah, no, this is different actress. Same name though. Working for
Multiverse.
Disney. Uh, But with that being said, the songs are really good. I like the two new songs quite a bit, asshole. And I like the two new songs quite a bit. I felt like the ending of Prince Eric's song was a really weird choice. Did not make sense whatsoever. But other than that, I actually like the music of it. I listened to it quite a bit. And I also really enjoy Ariel's new song that she has on land as well, which I really
Can you
enjoyed.
talk about the scuttlebutt? Scuttlebutt. Can you
Sure,
talk about the?
I can talk about the scuttlebutt. My thing with scuttlebutt, because I know it's a big topic of conversation, is just for one fact, it's this movie is made for kids. There's a lot of adult imagery. Halle Bailey is completely naked in this movie. There's a lot of adult. It's all covered, but like there is no clothes.
Obviously.
You know, there's no clothes. They really took the whole. She came to life without. She was birthed a human type of thing. Oh, that's an interesting visual. I never really thought about it that way. Interesting. See, there's layers to this movie. Either way, Scuttlebutt. I got distracted. It's really made for children. It's there to please the children. That's the only reason why it exists. It was not great, but it was not as bad as some people made it out to be online either. In my opinion, Aquafina rapping was definitely not something that I personally wanted to hear, but the
Favorite
VJ
song
does
of the
so
movie?
much. Oh, my most listened to one coming out of the film is by far Ariel's new song.
Uh-huh.
Can't remember what it's called.
Really? Not part of your world?
Fire World's good, but I've never enjoyed Fire World when I was younger either. It's never been like one of my favorite like Disney
I heard
songs.
I heard her final note is insane.
Oh my god! And if there's a live performance that she did at Disneyland, that
Uh-huh.
is oh my god,
Real
voice
so I
of
need
a
to look that
fucking
up.
angel. Yeah, you should look that up. Oh, or Part of the World Rephrase #2.
Mm-hmm.
Heartbreaking. This movie did
Really?
make me cry. I did cry. That is something that this movie did accomplish. Tears were in my eyes.
Would
Um,
Zach like this movie
Hold on. For the first time
for the first time?
is my favorite song.
Man, you like a song called For the First Time from a Disney movie? Where else has that shown up before?
Yeah, I don't like that song though, so it doesn't matter. Either way, I don't.
You,
I,
you don't
I
like For the First Time in Forever from
no.
Tangled? That's your favorite movie. For the first time in
Somehow I was thinking. Hold
forever.
on. What song was I thinking of? Because I was thinking of
What were you
Frozen.
thinking of?
I was thinking of the original Frozen. Hold on. Yeah, For the First Time in Forever is Frozen.
Oh, I thought that was Tangled. What am I thinking of from Tangled was for the first time?
Okay, hold on. I know which one you're thinking of. I do know which one. But I was like,
Once
no, I
again,
like that
once
song.
again, we are the Tangent Brothers. That's what this podcast should be called.
No, not that one. Is it when my life begin? The reprise
Yeah.
when she's running around on the grass, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, not For the First Time. I'm right. It was Frozen. I don't like that song. So
Okay. Yeah, because that's the one where she sings with douchebag.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Either way, see, we share sandwiches. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's comical but stupid.
Yeah.
I
No,
I
Olaf does
do.
it better in Frozen too.
I definitely yeah. Oh my god, yeah. But either way, moving on. I would recommend it to Zachary for sure. For you, I think you would enjoy it. I think you would have a good time. You've always enjoyed the live action remakes and stuff. It definitely is worth your experience.
As
Definitely a movie that I wish I would have saw earlier in the month,
mhm.
so I could have seen it more. I would definitely
As
have
long as they
watched.
give what my favorite thing about Disney movies are, which are the villain songs, as long as Poor Unfortunate Souls is as good as you say and it's not slam poetry from The Lion King, then I consider it a victory.
Yeah, no, Origin Force is it's great. It is a phenomenal performance and
I
phenomenal
will
song.
never not bitch about that. That hurt me so much. Be prepared, be prepared, be prepared. Like stupid.
That being said, I'm gonna land on a 4, I think, for Little Mermaid. Out of the movies I saw for that month, since we covered Guardians and Fast X was my favorite. Then I would probably put Guardians and then Little Mermaid. there's parts of Little Mermaid I didn't really love that I was like, this is a little too slow for my liking. But when it's just Ariel and Eric on the screen,
Mm-hmm.
it's
Magic.
lightning. It's pure
Does it
magic.
remind you of Diana and what's his
Yeah,
face from Wonder Woman a little
yeah,
bit?
kind of. Yeah. It's a true. Yeah. That's a good comparison, especially because Alan Menken has come out and said he pulled a lot from the Little Mermaid for the original the first Wonder Woman movie. So that's a good comparison. And just like when they're on the screen, it's just like
It's
it's
just
true
so.
magic for the
The
first one,
boat
by the way.
scene in Wonder Woman. Oh,
There is a similar boat scene,
really?
ironically, in this movie, and it works just as well.
That's awesome to hear.
Just to put that out there. But there's
And
a
do they
few
have a
things that they
dance
changed.
sequence together, much like in Wonder Woman?
They do, and it really works really well too.
Does she find on No Man's Land?
Um, kinda. Let's move on.
And there's a weird third act CGI battle that doesn't make sense.
Oh, Megan. Oh, oh my.
Do you mean Patty Jenkins, not Alan Menken?
No. I'm talking about the writer.
Alan Menken did the score to
Yeah,
this
yeah.
movie. He didn't write it.
I understand. I got it wrong. I thought to myself, this is wrong. Hold on.
But when I heard Alan Menken, I thought you were making the mistake with Patty Jenkins.
That's great. That's great. I'm still no Alan Heinberg.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Just the wrong last name. Same gay person. Damn it.
Cool.
All right,
Do you
either
want my
way,
computer to be destroyed? Is that what you want?
for the screenshot, Alan
No,
Heinberg.
but you would take it because you get a new computer finally.
Yeah, Alan Heinberg really was like, that's a great plot. How about I use it? And you know what? Yeah, that's all I got. Okay, it was a 4. I recommend it. We'll see when it comes out. I'm really excited to watch it at home. I will have to say this much. I don't know if the visuals will hold up at home as well as they did in theaters. This could be like one of those special kind of little experiments where it's just better in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
Zachary, do you want to talk about John Wick 5 and I can talk about the and more section of this
Sure.
one?
Okay. So I said this in the John Wick Chapter 4 review, and I will say it here. Am I excited for more John Wick? That's a stupid question. Of course I am. It's some of my favorite action of all time. I mean, Jacob and I can agree. Paris is just Paris. It's so
Wouldn't
good.
rewatch the whole movie again, but I'd rewatch Paris.
It's so good. And after rewatching it for the third time, I think the stuff in Prague, especially the fight between him and what's his face, the big guy, is awesome. It's so good. I love it. I love this movie. However, they ended so well for me that I'm not as excited for John Wick Chapter 5 because I got closure. He got closure. He's with his wife now. He's happy. So in my mind, he's dead. This is John Wick This is John Wick Chapter 3.2. This is what would happen if John Wick
I
didn't
wouldn't
continue on with
say it
John Wick
would
4.
spoil John Wick Chapter 4, but here we are. I'm sorry. No warning or anything.
It came out in March.
Yeah, that does not matter. It's still a $20 purchase.
Oh, well. Put the spoiler thing on before we start talking about John Wick.
I don't have a spoiler thing to put on. I'm sorry. It's just spoiled. Good luck, people out there. Zachary's an asshole. No one's shocked.
Put it in the title.
No. Okay. Just gonna let it be its thing.
But yeah, no, they end Chapter 4 on such a good note, or I am more excited for the ballerina, I'm more excited for Continental. We don't need a John Wick 5. I don't think we need it for a while. Now, but the issue is that Keanu Reeves is not what I'm calling getting any younger. And the man can do his stunts very, very, very well. It's shown on screen. However, I don't think that man can go through another staircase again. And I would think they want to get this movie out relatively quickly. So I would think 2027 maybe is what they're probably going to be aiming for, 2026 probably. And I think it should all depend. Yes, John Wick Chapter 4 did well for them, but they also need to make sure that it's still viable without John in it. Ballerina, I really think will decide, where this franchise will be moving forward post this. Like, are we just going to focus mainly on John, or will these spinoffs work? I also think Continental is a good way to see whether or not people are still interested in this without John Wick being in it. So we will see. Because I think John Wick's 1 through 4 is a perfect quadology, and that they end where they need to end. They don't need to continue on any further. But Jacob, what's the more?
Well, before we jump into the more, actually I do have more, but out of the way, asshole. That's the little sun sound thing. People figuring out why do they just keep saying asshole randomly. Well, you should have watched the video. You would understand. So either way, with John Wick, they had originally planned to film John Wick Chapter 4 and 5 back to back, with the ending being the same. And then Chad Skelsey had said that he just couldn't simply have it in him creatively to make another one after he finished Chapter 4 so soon after, which is understandable. I get that. With the other stuff, so there's more stuff for the movie stuff, and then there's like a fun little thing that ends up happening. The person who runs, the president of Lionsgate, Joe Drake, had talked about John Wick being such a valuable franchise for them, and now they're excited to continue to build out that franchise, including Ballerina, which is the first spin-off to come out. We're in development.
Excited for that.
They're also in development of 3 others, including 5 in the including television series The Continental, which will be airing in September. It's a 3-part miniseries on Peacock. And so there's those. I didn't know there was 3 other projects.
I can probably guess what one of those other projects are.
I really hope one is one of the things that we're thinking in our head.
It has to be. There's no other.
Why set up an end credit scene if you're not going to follow through with that?
Right. But also, I want one of those movies to be another character from John Wick Chapter 4. I want to know more about that character, where he got a certain thing he has in that movie, why he's so attached to certain things said in film, and why is he so obsessed with certain thing in the movie.
I love how he's like, I'm going to tell you the ending, but I'm not going to spoil a goddamn lick of anything else. Enjoy your journey, but just know that it just happens at the end.
But you know where you get to by the end of the movie. You don't know how he gets there, but I want to tell you that he gets there.
The other thing is that Lionsgate has said they're going to make that they have huge plans to make a big AAA game of John Wick. We have a game already called John Wick Hex, which is truly awful. Oh.
I love that game.
Okay. And then there was also a VR game that was released in 2017 for John Wick Chronicles, and John Wick the character has also appeared in Fortnite and Payday 2. But which I didn't know he showed up in Payday 2. I knew he was in Fortnite. But I think this could be really. I think John Wick is like one of those franchises that is perfect to be adapted into a video game. It's not great in a comic book form. I read those; those are trash. But a video game, I think it would be perfect.
I agree. But what I'd be worried for it is that it would be compared too much to Hitman.
No, Hitman's a funny game. Hitman, you're laughing the whole time. You're just having a blast. John Wick is a serious. And I feel like John Wick, if you're doing a AAA game, it's going to be story driven with a lot of action sequences and stuff. Just M-rated.
You know who I would want to do a John Wick game?
Yeah, they don't have anybody. They don't have anybody.
Max Payne developers.
Oh,
that's why I want to do a John Wick
game. You mean Rockstar?
No, not Rockstar. Their subsidiary entertainment division.
And it's still Rockstar though.
But that. Listen, we still don't know GTA 6, so we can probably get the Max Payne guys before.
GTA 6 is supposed to get an announcement at the end of the year. It's supposed to get released at the Q2 of next year.
Will I believe that? I'll believe it when I see it.
I've already seen leaks. I mean, I could show you things. I know way too much. I'm actually kind of sad about stupid fucking Twitter.
Those people went to jail.
They did.
Rockstar was like, no. If we get anything, wow, what a tangent! But if we get anything for GTA 6, it'll be at the Game Awards at the end of the year in December.
Yeah, it would definitely be at the Game Awards, and I definitely do think we're going to get an announcement. Just because the company that owns Rockstar, that forefronts it, says that they have a very big game from Rockstar coming out in the beginnings of 2024 at this very moment in time.
GTA the Definitive Edition's Part 2.
No.
It's just GTA 4 remastered with the
no.
GTA 5.
No, it's just the remastered of a remaster of a remastered GTA 5.
It'll look so real. It'll feel like you're not even in your living room.
A VR.
How nuts would that be? The big game. How nuts would that be if that's the
It'd be so
case?
stupid. Okay, let's move on to Disney Upfront. There's some stuff to talk about here. So
We'll be
Disney had
upfront
their
with you guys about it. That one got him.
So Disney had their upfront, and they announced some things. And I really want to talk about the Star Wars and Marvel stuff. That's kind of like what I'm here to talk about. But there's some other stuff in
Wait,
case we want.
wait, wait, wait a minute. Is this the thing where they announced all the Pixar stuff that makes me really mad?
Yes, I actually do believe this is the Pixar stuff too. We're just gonna. Hold on. Well, let me introduce. You can talk about the Marvel stuff, and I can do some reading, and then we can figure out if this is where the Pixar stuff as well.
Okay.
For anybody out there. Okay, so the first thing first is that Kevin Feige came out and talked about. They gave a sneak peek for Secret Invasion, which we'll be covering on this channel soon. We're almost done with Mandalorian, so we should probably cover both those probably next month as well. So you get the second half of the Mandalorian review.
For those who've been waiting to hear what I feel about it,
You never know. I feel kind of like we need to. We covered the first 2 seasons so thoroughly. We have to finish it.
no, we're going to finish it, but I finally get to talk about the episodes, and I'm so excited.
I really want to know your opinion about one of them. That's besides the point. Either way, then they also showcased for Loki season 2 and Hawkeye spinoffs Echo, which also announcing the release dates for both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Those release dates are going as following. With season 2 premiere will debut on October 6th for Loki, and Echo release all episodes the first binge for a Disney Marvel show on November 29th. And Zachary, this is where I'm going to leave it with you as I go through some stuff to figure it out. Let me know how, one, you feel about Loki's release date. Do you think that means they feel comfortable with where Jonathan Major's case is going because he's such a big player in that? And also, how do you feel about Echo being a full binge?
So we'll start with Echo and then go to Loki. Echo first. This show is not going to be good. I am now in the full confidence in saying that this is not going to be good. There is no way they would put this show out when all of them have not been binges if it's not bad. I think Feige now realizes they have to push through and get all of this stuff out to get to where they want to be with the MCU, which is past all of this and focus on the new phase. And so now they have to crank out their content. And so unfortunately, I think Echo got the short end of the stick. I think Echo could have been a fantastic show. I really do. And it still could be, but knowing that they're focusing so hard on it being a binge makes me worried. Like, are they going to be like short 30-minute episodes that you can get through really quickly? Are they going to be, 50 minutes? But here's the other thing. They want Marvel to be in a constant conversation. And, the next project after um Echo, I think will be Deadpool 3 in May now. Because November, beginning of November is the Marvels, and now the end of the month is Echo, leading into Deadpool 3 in May. So unless Echo just doesn't matter now, and they're just putting it out just to put it out because they have it done, which again is fine, I guess. It just sucks. I feel bad for the actress who plays Echo because she does a great job in Hawkeye. I really like her in the role. And they set up some really interesting things with her and Kingpin and what could transpire to Daredevil. So I really thought they would take this show a little bit more seriously than they feel like they are. Now, when it comes to Loki, this is the same conversation we had in regards to the Flash, where the Flash was done. There was nothing they could really do. They had to put the movie out regardless of what was going on. Different scenarios for the actors, but it's still in the same case of that they already had it shot and done. There's no way they can go back and change it. Now, the only upside to that conversation is that Jonathan has not gone through the majority of hell that Warner Brothers and Ezra did together. That's the big difference here, is that there's still time for Jonathan to recover, whereas with Ezra, by the time the movie came out this weekend, there was no time for it to really recover. Loki still has time from now to October. I'm still in the camp that by the end of Loki season 2, they will change the actor of Kang, and it'll be somebody new. And post credit scene saying that the multiverse that Loki changes something in season 2 in a newly shot post credit scene for the show that changes the timeline. We get a new Kang. That's what I think will happen in the show because it would make sense for Marvel's multiverse stuff. Am I excited for Loki? Hell yes. Loki was one of my favorite shows from Disney Plus back in 2021. I love that show to death. And it ends on such a strong cliffhanger that I'm so excited to see what they do with it. But that's how I feel about the two Marvel shows. I still think it's nuts that we're getting both of them so close to each other. And we have the Marvels at the beginning of November. That's 3 pieces of Marvel entertainment back to back to back. And that was some people's biggest issues with Marvel for the past year was that was back to back, back to back to back. We got no breathing room. And so I think Loki will have the strongest reaction from the fans. I think with Marvel's being in the middle, it'll get like the middle ground. And with Echo being such a dump, I think they'll put it out for the weekend. It's out, be done with it, and they'll move on. And that's what the end of the year Marvel will be. That's what I think.
Okay.
What about you?
So, one, the Pixar stuff is not here.
Okay, I don't want to talk about it again.
Yeah, we already talked about that.
Thank God.
I thought we did, but I was just doing a double check. I do have to agree. I feel like they're only going to drop Echo all at once because it's bad. Mm-hmm. And to be fair, I've never heard really good things of the entire time that Echo has been filming and stuff. I've heard nothing but really bad things, to be honest with you, about it. I've heard that it just has not been a good experience overall. Just was not done type of thing. I think we can all agree, though, also a part of me feels that they're going to drop on the entirety of Echo because Echo isn't really anticipated. A lot of people, when Echo was announced to be released, a lot of people are like, really? We're going to have an Echo TV show? Whereas Loki is the bigger one here. Mm-hmm. So I think that's also could be a reason why. Loki season 2, I think October is a good date. We should definitely know exactly where they stand on everything
by then.
And so I think Loki is all good to go. It's also been set up really nicely, and I do like having movies that are set up from their movies to their television shows released in the same year. I think it's the only way to keep consistency. So just because Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania didn't do particularly well, it still set up Loki season 2. So I'd like to have Loki season 2 this year just because of that setup.
Do you agree with what I said at all about that? If anything goes sour before then, they can do they could do a change in.
I mean, the only way they could do a change, in my opinion, is if they do rewrites and reshoots for it, and they would have to have writers to be able to do it organically, and they also have to find a new actor to play King. I think they're really just hoping at this very moment in time, in my personal opinion, that this is all just gonna be a wash.
But don't you think Marvel would have a backup just in case?
Yeah, I would also say, in my opinion, and I mean, I would say they probably do for sure, but I'd say they really hope it was this whole thing would be a wash.
I agree.
But they also are probably like, man, they still released the Flash. And they could be looking at that too. I mean, the Flash is a very big contender here, but the Flash, there's so many different reasons. Ezra Miller just being one of them, the reason why that did not do well this past weekend. It has a lot of other things on it as well. Ezra Miller just happens to be the main front man, or the main front person.
Top of it.
Yeah. All right. Other stuff that got announced.
Are you excited for Loki?
You know my feelings for Loki season 1. It's not my favorite.
Did the post-credit scene in Ant-Man do anything for you?
Yeah, but here's the thing. The reason why it did something for me is because I just like Jonathan Majors as an actor so much, and so I was just really excited. And so now I'm just really mixed on the entire experience. Also, they need to get Loki season 2 out this year because we know almost for a fact that they're going to be big players in Deadpool 3 coming up. That's basically been confirmed without being confirmed.
That's what I've said from day one, that they're going to have to use the TVA in some way, shape, or form in order for Deadpool 3 to work.
So with that being said, they kind of need to come out so those characters can be at the point where they're at to go into the next thing, as long as they're all talking. Talk. Don't pull another Doctor Strange 2 where we're jumping from one medium going into another and you're just rehashing old events.
See, that's what I'm worried about. going into Loki as well is the Doctor Strange WandaVision thing that happened.
Well,
Look,
Loki, I feel like it's a little different just because it's all different versions of King.
uh-huh,
WandaVision was playing with main Wanda. It wasn't a multiverse Wanda. And
right.
then Doctor Strange 2 is also like the main Wanda was the one doing the same shit over again that she already did. It wasn't
Hmm.
like it was like a multi like a what the fuck are they called? A variant
Yeah,
version of Wanda doing it. It was a variant version of Wanda. I think we all would have been like, well,
fine with it.
damn, they both had hard lives, but okay, let's do this. But this was the main Wanda. This was our Wanda, and we already been through that. Loki, this is a different variant of King.
Of Kang.
So that's my only reason why I don't think we're gonna run into the same upset.
Hmm.
But it could be for Deadpool 3 that would say what's it Owen Wilson brings over and they have a similar storyline in that
For
with
him.
Loki season 2, then that's where I could see the upset being the same thing for that one. I think King is the only one I don't think it'll affect, just because they're
Okay.
supposed to be all so different.
Yeah.
So that's
Okay.
my only
Okay.
thing. It could be the same thing. You could be correct. It could be, we could feel the same exact way and be really annoyed with it all.
Hmm.
If the Kings are just so similar. That's a big thing here. You have to make sure if you do
That they
move forward
feel different.
that they
Otherwise,
are
it's going to
different.
get
It's
boring.
not going to work. It's not going to work.
Because the reason I like He Who Remains so much more than Kang is because of how different they are. And I don't want to go into Loki season 2 dealing with another version of Kang and he feels exactly the same as He Who Remains or Kang did. And this is where this whole variant Kang thing could run into a very big issue going into Kang Dynasty. So they have to play that role just right and not feel like they're overdoing the same performance from him over and over and over and over again. Because then it'll get boring and your villain will be boring, and you don't want that.
So other things that were quickly to touch on very quickly before we jump into the other Disney story, which will take up the majority of time. Um, Kathleen Kennedy came out and showed more things for the Acolyte and
So, so,
Skeleton Crew and Ahsoka, and so I would
so,
have to
so,
say.
so, so excited.
So I'd say for those three, I'd say those are the guarantees for the next few shows that we're getting outside of Andor. Would be the Acolyte and Skeleton Crew because they just keep promoting it at all these different big functions. They also did announce that we are getting a Mando season 4.
I
That
figured.
was confirmed, but it will be delayed significantly due to the WGA strikes.
Right.
It was supposed to start filming at the end of this year, and they're thinking it probably won't film until mid next year, which
Which is
means it'll
fine.
probably be about another 2 years in between, which is why I think Mando season 3 didn't particularly hit really well with people. It hit enough to get renewed, but it didn't hit
Yeah.
well enough. I think because the gap was just too far in between. I think, in my
I
personal
think the
opinion.
layout will be August 23rd for Ahsoka. I think I am. This date's not been confirmed, but this is what I think. If Echo drops on the 29th, I think Skeleton Crew comes out the day that Mando season 1 came out, which is December 16th. That'll be December going into the new year, and I think May will be Acolyte where Obi-Wan was, and that'll be our timeline gap. That'll be the three coming out. It'll go
I don't know.
Ahsoka, Skeleton Crew, and then Acolyte.
I'm really curious to see how well they do it. I'd also say that's the only thing that does make me nervous about Loki season 2, even though Loki was really well regarded and one of
Hmm.
the more higher paid attention shows from Disney Plus. It has
Yeah.
been quite a bit since Loki season 1 came out.
Hmm.
So I would have to wonder if the hype is still going to be the same level, especially because the teaser that we got, or the clip or whatever, was
Hmm.
in a movie that was really well underperformed on
I
all four fronts.
what I think Loki has behind it, and will always have behind it, is two words: Tom Hiddleston.
It's true.
It
Everybody
does
does
not
love him in the role.
it does not matter what he is in; they will rush out to see this man. The biggest pop in our theater during Ant Man was nothing to do with Ant Man. It was the end credit scene and everybody seeing Loki. That was the pop that we got in our theater. And I know the majority of pop in theaters for Ant Man was Loki's post credit scene because seeing Tom Hiddleston again on the big screen, which has not been seen since 2019. And so I think Loki is safe when it comes to. Same thing with Ahsoka. I think Rosario Dawson has cemented herself in that role, and I think they're not worried as for Ahsoka or Loki. I think Skeleton Crew I would be worried about because that's a whole different ballpark you're dealing with when it comes to Star Wars. You're going for a Goonies esque role for that show. So you have to determine whether or not that's going to be a kid show or an adult show blended with kids elements. Um, and then the benefit to that is that Echo drops all at once, so they don't have to worry about Echo being a competitor. Skeleton Crew will have that time to itself and not have to worry about
And
anything.
it could be the fact that they're like, okay, Echo has like 6 episodes, I think, in it. And it could be the fact that they're like the first 2 or 3 episodes of Echo are not going to perform as well, and they want it to perform well because there's not like something flashy in it. It doesn't happen until later on in the season, and so they want to drop it all at once for the parts that are very talked about, the parts that are going to get the traction moving quite a bit for Echo to be
Mm-hmm.
like right there. And also maybe it doesn't work as a weekly show. Maybe the way they set it up, maybe the dialogue or something takes you out, and you're just like, it's just going to be better as a binge anyways. The first episode doesn't have that like enticing feel to it, and so they want to drop it all at once so you can keep
My
going
th-
and keep going.
my thing with it though is that why would Marvel want to end on that note for the year? Like say say the Marvels is tremendous. Like it holds a regard. It's so much better than the first Captain Marvel, and people absolutely adore it. You're gonna end on possibly a clunker of a note for the year for Marvel with Echo.
Once again, maybe that's the thing. Maybe the ending of Echoes is so strong, but the
Maybe
beginning of Echoes is not, and so they don't want to end on like they want to end on that like a strong note that Echoes ends on, type of thing. I
if
don't
you
know.
were Disney, would you switch the Marvels and Echo and let the Marvels come out last and then Echoes come out second?
No,
No.
no, I would probably move Echo to December.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing: Marvels has so much going against it. So much. There's so much going against it that I'm gonna be really shocked if we walk out of this and it's like
I have hope for the movie.
I have hope, but it makes me don't get me wrong. I'm gonna probably love it. I'll probably see it multiple times,
Mm-hmm.
but I am the target audience. I'm not the person you're trying to like get to come see this movie. The people you're trying to get to come see this movie. It's not performing well enough. Like the trailers and stuff are not to really say that there's an enticement for it,
To
which
me,
makes
the
me anxious.
movie to me the movie has Nia DaCosta, who is a fantastic director, and they are running on the high for me from Miss Marvel. I mean, and they also have Photon from WandaVision. All three of those aspects to me are so strong, and I think those two will work off Carol so well that I think they'll make Carol a better character. It just solely depends on how they interact and use that. And I don't think the teaser they put out at the beginning of this year was particularly strong in showing what the movie is going to be.
All right, moving on to this. This is Disney and Plus. Disney Plus and Hulu are talking about merging here in the States. As you guys do know, Hulu does not exist overseas. It is Star, which is already on the Disney Plus app if you go anywhere outside of the US. So that's not
That's how
like
it works.
it's not new for a lot of people, but now we're just getting Hulu added on. And then the purging of the content. I'm going to let Zachary talk about the purging of content because it truly did make him frustrated over some of the things that they decided. I was also kind of annoyed with some of the things. I think there should be like a year limit or something before you can take something off your service. But we'll talk about that here in a second.
Actually, can you go first? I want to bring up the list of content that they purged when this first came out, just
Yeah,
so I can reiterate why I'm frustrated with what they
yeah,
did.
yeah. I was going to talk about the merging and stuff and why I don't really think it's a bad idea and why I think it came about.
Yeah, so you talk about that while I bring up this list for me real quick.
So I think they decided to do the merging one because it's everywhere else. We're the only place in the U.S. that pay for extra content on Hulu. They've already been doing TV shows that are live, such as Dancing with the Stars and stuff. You can watch live on Disney Plus. That's a thing that's been going on for about a year or so now. So I don't really think
And
that's
it's worked.
and I mean it doesn't pop up anywhere in the Nielsen's, but I'm sure people who watch it are enjoying it. And also with the fact that the parental controls are so extreme on Disney Plus, Hulu used to be the adult programming show for Disney. Disney Plus was the let's put all the kids shows on here, Marvel shows and things, and Marvel will be like the highest one. But then they brought in like Daredevil and Jessica Jones and stuff, and they're like, okay, we're going to have some rated R content on here. Logan's on the on the site and things. We have to make sure that parents feel comfortable enough getting Disney Plus for the younglings as well as the adults. And so I think the obvious answer here is Hulu. My question with Hulu, because Hulu has so many signed deals and things with other other things. My question is, does that mean FX is moving over to Disney Plus? Like FX on Hulu, is that now exclusive to Disney Plus? And if you're going to merge them together, something that we keep seeing is the fact that content is expensive. It doesn't matter if you have two streaming services or one. If you put them together, that's double the amount of expense, and also that's double the amount of pressure you're putting on the servers to run smoothly. That's the only good thing about Disney Plus and Hulu being separated, is that they do run on different servers, and stuff. And so I just wonder, one, how much of an uptick this will have. If they think they're going to bring in a bunch of subscribers this way, I don't really know if that's necessary. Are they going to get rid of Hulu Live TV? Is that going to be something that's going to be on Disney Plus? Because I don't know how I feel about that. And also, I just think those are the things. I think those are the big things for me personally. I can understand why you want to do this, and I think it makes sense. And I think we've been building to this for a while now. So, but Zachary, please take over the. And also, the last thing being here is, if they do merge, that just means more and more content will be purged.
Mm-hmm. And so, before we get into the negative part of this, I agree with Jacob 110%. I think the merge makes the most sense. You're already doing this over on the other side of the states. It would make more sense just to put all of your content between the two of them on one spot if you're doing it already. To your point, I think if they do this, FX will end up on as part of the Disney part as part of the merge. It would make sense. However, I think they would put that under a restricted banner, to where you would have to be on an adult account to look at FX. Kids wouldn't be able to click on it, which is a good thing. I think all of the Fox movies like Logan, Deadpool, all of them would end up underneath the FX category, and that's where they would stay, because they're adult films, and you don't want your kids randomly popping on Logan and going, "Wow, there's blood everywhere." You don't want that to happen. And so putting it underneath an FX banner makes sense. Plus, most of Disney's high quality TV content comes from FX. So I think it would make the most sense to bring that content over to your biggest streaming platform. But on the Purging side of this, one got resolved. Now, granted, I did not finish this show, but I felt so bad for the creators when this got announced. So here are 12 items that got removed because of the purge. Artemis Fowl, not a great movie, but still had a fan base that watched it a lot. Better Nate Than Never, again, smaller film, but did well for them. Black Beauty, their remake they did a year ago, it did really well, but they removed it. This one shocks me. Cheaper by a Dozen, the one that came out back last year. It did very well. I've seen reviews of that movie. People love this movie. They think it's a really good updated rendition of Cheaper by the Dozen. I agree. I don't love Zach Braff, but but the movie itself, it's wholesome, it's family, and it's fun. But the one that really gets me is the one and only Ivan. We watched this together back in 2021 with Bryan Cranston about the ape. You remember the movie?
Mm-hmm.
It was good, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was fine.
But it was a good Disney Plus movie. That's what I'm meaning. They're getting rid of Flora and Ulysses, the one about the squirrel.
Yeah,
That's
I didn't like
gone.
that one.
Stargirl. That's not DC one. That's a Disney one. Wolfgang, Darby and the Dead. This is all Disney Plus stuff. Now, if you want to know what Hulu purged, but here's the big one. This was out for literally 4 months, 5 months, and this was Willow. They got rid of this. Made no goddamn sense. Did the show do well for them? Absolutely not. But you cannot take that off without giving it time to spread its wings. You gave it no shot. And I'm very happy that they decided to remove that statement, and Willow is now back on there. And I think that's a good thing. Is the show good? It has its moments, but it did not deserve to be canned like it did. I think this is the same thing in regards to HBO Max when they did this as well. I hate the fact that they're getting rid of content just to make room for stupider shit.
I think
they got rid of Sesame Street episodes on Max for no reason.
Well, there is
And he,
reasons. It's expensive, and they don't have the money to fund it. I mean, there are reasons why these choices are made, but my thing here being when it comes to purging content is you have to do it like Netflix does it. Netflix gives you a month in advance to know
they
that
give
it's being.
nobody anything.
HBO Max particularly is really really bad about just dropping content. Like, does not matter if it's exclusive. That's also another thing.
It's
Like,
all
it's
original content.
the original content never leaves Netflix. It's very rare for an original content to leave Netflix. Netflix gets rid of everything else for sure. They'll purge, you know, Friends or whatever it might be, but their original shit stays. When I sign up for a service and it says Max Original, I would expect for the next 5 years that I'm signed on to that service for that one Max Original to be there. Disney
Mhm.
Plus is the same way. I would expect because let's say I'm not in the mood to watch Willow today, but I might be in the mood to watch Willow 3 years from now. Where can I find it?
Sure.
Nowhere. Using that as an example here.
Hmm.
And the one only, and I understand wanting to get rid of some of the smaller content that didn't do particularly well or whatever, but like, I don't think they went about it the best way, in my
No,
personal opinion.
they. I think, and to 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 go with your point about Netflix, the only I honestly think the only reason Netflix doesn't get rid of any of their original content is because then why would you call it Netflix then? You would just call it the streaming platform. You wouldn't call it Netflix because at that point you'd be getting rid of your original content. Keep your original content because that's why you're called Netflix. It's not because of anything else. It's because of the words Netflix on your content. Disney and HBO and Max have the advantage of being called Disney and Warner Brothers. They can use that content to their advantage. Netflix can't. If they get rid of their original content, then they're not a streaming platform anymore. They
Yeah,
have
but
to have
they,
it
but
there.
just like Netflix, Disney and Max both have content that's not theirs that they can get rid of,
Yes.
and they're choosing to get rid of their own content over
Yeah.
the others.
But what I'm saying is that even though Disney is getting rid of their own content, they still have Disney material on Disney Plus. Even though they're getting rid of Max originals, they still have HBO and Warner Brothers. If Netflix gets rid of Netflix original material,
No, I,
they
I
have no
understand.
other
I
Netflix
understand.
stuff on there. That's what I mean. But I also get what you're saying. And it's it's super frustrating. It'd be like saying, randomly you look at your phone one day and you're like, I'm gonna go watch Stranger Things. It's a clear example. It's not happening. But I look at my phone on Netflix. Like, I'm gonna go watch Stranger Things. What the hell? Where's Stranger Things? All of a sudden you see a random blog post on their website. Stranger Things is now gone. Goodbye, goodbye. I'm like, where was my heads up? What if I wanted to finish that? The one and only Ivan. Is it a great movie? No, but it's a fun one, and you can go back to it occasionally. Now I can't.
I mean, I never did, but like, I get it.
but but you never could. It's a lot like Anne Hathaway's Witches movie that got removed. It did not do great for them, but people still went back and watched it. Now they can't.
Yeah.
And I bring up Sesame Street because it is a big deal. Apple has it now, and I'm really glad Apple has Sesame Street. But when people were looking for Sesame Street and they wanted to show episodes to their kids, they would go to the season on HBO Max, and then we go, it's not there. It'd be like if we went to Friends specifically looking for Thanksgiving episodes, and those are the ones they took away. Like, it makes no sense. If you're gonna purge it all. Don't randomly get rid of random episodes. That makes no sense. Why keep the
Yeah.
content if you're gonna get rid of all? If you're not gonna keep it all, you know what I mean? So like, if you're gonna purge your content, then do a fresh slate. If this is Disney's Plus way of doing a fresh slate, it's stupid. Let the people who are buying your service know, hey, this content leaving is this day. If you want to watch it before this day, watch it now. Otherwise, you're never going to get a chance to watch it again. And I think it's I don't like how these streaming services are communicating with their audiences. I think Netflix does it the best. They put it on Facebook, they put it on Twitter, they put it on Instagram, whatever they can put it, they put it. There are these nice lists saying what's coming and what's leaving. That gives you the idea of what's staying there. And Max can say, "Well, we have this what's leaving list at the bottom of our page." No one, your app makes no sense. Do you really think people are going to scroll down and go, "This was what's leaving"? Okay,
And
Disney
Max
Plus
took
doesn't have
away
that.
a lot of those things though. Like the
Hmm.
new one does not even have coming soon, and the other one, at least I could not find it, I should say.
It's at the very, very, very bottom of the main page. But again, that interface sucks, and so it's really hard to maneuver around it. It's frustrating. I think as a consumer, as consumers, we should be told we're buying your streaming service. We should be told what's going to be on there and what's not. That's just all there is to it. I think it's ridiculous if they don't give us the information that they should.
Like, that's like a lot of scrolling I just had to do to find this. I bet you anything, it's not in the entire list. So I just went to Max. I did the thing.
What they purged? It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. With no like heads up or anything, Max got rid of some really quality shit.
Yeah.
Just poof. Poof.
I mean, I talked about it before. I have a TV show that I go back and I rewatch like once or twice a year, and it's gone, and I have to figure out how to buy it.
Their DC portfolio got massively gutted when the change happened. Massively gutted. And it sucks. I have now found Justice League Unlimited, and the Batman cartoon on Netflix. They're no longer on HBO Max. And that's stupid.
Well, that's also possibly, it could be based on contracts and stuff like that as well. That's where shit gets like real complicated, though.
See, I get that part when it comes to like movies and that kind of thing, but for cartoons,
yeah, those are all under contracts too. Yeah,
that's a Warner Brothers cartoon.
Doesn't matter. It's under contracts. You have to shop them around. That's the way it works.
I get that though, because Cape Crusader is going to be on Amazon. I'm super excited for Cape Crusader, but it's weird watching a Warner Brothers Animations cartoon on Amazon. Anyway, I'm happy about this because I'm liking the fact that I get to watch all of it on one place. I don't have to go to multiple apps. I love how Hulu works, so I'm really hoping they're looking at how Hulu is designed with the content of Disney Plus and kind of maneuver it that way, because I think the UI on Hulu is some of the best UI they have in streaming. It's very easy to work with. You know exactly where you're going. The search bar is great. Disney Plus's UI has gotten better, but it's not great. So I hope they change that up a little bit as well.
Okay. Well, do you want to do the one thing? Or do you just want to call it a podcast?
Do you have anything you'd like to talk about?
Is there anything? I mean, I'm okay.
Sure, we can do it for a little bit if you'll indulge me.
Yeah, I will. Hold on. Give me 1 second. The way this works is I have time. All right. Do you want to do 5 or 10 minutes?
Let's go for 10.
All right. Go.
Summer Games Fest was fucking awesome.
Oh, this is random shit for 10 minutes. This is the next segment.
Sorry,
this only pops up when we have a really short podcast.
So, did you watch anything from?
Yeah, I've seen which conferences?
Sony had one. Xbox had one.
Which one are you talking about? One. Which one are you?
In general. What do you think of Summer Games Fest in a general sense? Like,
we have 10 minutes.
Games. Yeah. Did any games stand out for you in particular? Did any showcases let you down? That kind of thing.
I didn't go to anything expectations, so no showcases let me down. I particularly, however, that's I guess that's a lie. I particularly had a hard time going through Ubisoft's showcase.
Good.
That one was particularly hard to like.
Whoever was guarding that camera, it just.
Let me see here. Give me 1 second. I can tell you which ones I have seen. I don't watch them by myself. I watch them with a YouTuber called Alana Pierce. So I'm just saying in general for people.
I watch them with Kind of Funny, a correspondence of Alana Pierce's.
Yeah. So like I said, I watched Ubisoft's. I did not like it. There's also one thing I took away from that, by the way. Ubisoft's big thing is the fact that it made me not want to play the new Assassin's Creed whatsoever.
Mirage looks so boring. I was so excited for it. It looks so boring.
I think the result of this is the fact that we all asked. I didn't ask for it, but a lot of people asked for like
them to go backwards.
And our response is, "Oh God, we're wrong. Never mind. Stick with what you're doing. You're doing good, sweetie."
Did Valhalla do well for them? Yes.
Yeah, it did moderately okay.
But I don't know.
That was my takeaway. I also wasn't expecting, Avatar Frontiers to be like Far Cry in space. that
I'm
was
so
also something
excited.
else I was not expecting.
I'm
Definitely,
so
I would
excited.
play it if you get it, but I am
I'm not
not
getting it.
pre-ordering it or anything under those lines.
The standout of Ubisoft's presentation is Prince of Persia.
Oh, okay. I've not seen
Yeah,
Capcom's yet, so I don't have any.
don't.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm excited.
Jacob,
There's a
it
few
is
things.
50 minutes of nothing. I'm telling you right now, it's
No, yeah,
nothing. There's
I'm
no.
excited for like Dragon Dama and that type of
Oh,
stuff. There's
okay.
stuff in there that I'm excited for.
Oh, you're in for a. Whew.
Just
But
because
no,
it appealed to you.
Prince of Persia looks fucking fantastic.
I thought it
I
looked
have
pretty
not
good.
been this excited for a Prince of Persia game in a long time. It looks fucking great. Sony, I'll say it, shit the bed.
I liked Sony's. I enjoyed Sony's quite a bit.
I was disappointed with Sony's. I told this to Jacob, and I did a full breakdown of it over on my YouTube channel. So I won't go much into it. They brought Spider-Man and Metal Gear. That was it. They had nothing else to
I'm
show.
excited for Alan Wake 2.
Okay, fine. No. My bad. I think Alan Wake got a better star shining moment on Summer Game Fest showcase. Their demo was awesome
No, no,
for
I
Alan
much
Wake.
preferred the trailer than I did the demo.
Difference of opinion.
So,
But other than that, Alan Wake, Metal Gear, and Spider-Man. Did anything else stand out to you?
uh, not that I can think about top of my head, but that's fine. I mean, if they have like 4 games that they brought to the party, I mean, Spider-Man 2, Zachary, is something you've been looking forward to for so long, and you
No,
finally
I
have something
agree.
from it.
I agree. I got a lot of information the past week. I really did. But what I was expecting from PlayStation is what I got from Xbox. Their first parties came in and just went to town. They did a bunch of CGI trailers for multiplayer games. For multiplayer games,
Xbox
I want to see what's going on.
Xbox is okay. I thought Xbox was okay. The my big takeaways for Xbox were Fable. What?
Really?
What?
You thought Xboxes was okay?
Yeah, I just thought it was okay. My big takeaways were Fable, Hellblade, or Sauna's Hellblade type of thing I'm talking about. And then I thought Avowed looked also pretty cool. And then the obviously Starfield looked cool, but like the direct was cooler than almost anything that they brought to their actual showcase,
I
in my
agree.
opinion.
I 110% agree. But at least all of Xbox's first parties came to play. We saw nothing from Sucker Punch. We saw nothing from Naughty Dog,
Yeah, but they
which
didn't have
genuinely,
anything to play. I mean, you have to have a
yes, they
game to be
did.
able to showcase.
Yes, Naughty Dog did. They showed it off in that dumb little TV ad that they had, where they showed that girl going through a chasm. That was Uncharted. That was so Uncharted.
No. They're done with Uncharted, Zachary. There is no more.
Jacob. They're working on Uncharted.
No. It's new. The one they're working on right now is a new um, third like a AAA game. I don't know what it is though. They talked about it briefly online. The thing that here's the thing. They originally were supposed Naughty Dog was originally supposed to bring um, the factions, whatever that game was supposed to be called, The Last of Us multiplayer online, game. But that's practically DOA. They've taken almost everybody off the team off that game. It's probably not going to come out anymore. And that was originally what they're supposed to come. They're supposed to bring. They're going to bring gameplay for it and like have a release date and stuff. And then things have happened where it's just not. It's not going to be promoted anymore.
And then I think Final Fantasy VII Rebirth should have been at PlayStation and not Summer Game Fest
Yeah,
because
but then again, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is not going to be an exclusive like Final Fantasy 16
yes,
is.
it is.
No, it's
They
not.
still they still don't know when the remake's coming over to Xbox.
Hold on. Let me Google that. You can
It's
keep
a time.
talking.
I believe it's a timed
I'm
exclusive.
gonna tell you right now. 7. You could be right. I don't know.
Because they're still waiting on remake coming over to Xbox.
Yeah, no, you're correct. Rebirth will be exclusive. So yeah, I definitely agree. I think Rebirth should have definitely been with Sony's. Yeah.
But I understand why Jeff got it because Keeley works his magic in very weird ways. So we got it.
But then again, I really liked Mortal Kombat 1. I
Mortal
much
Kombat
preferred.
was so good.
However, I did much prefer the gameplay demo stuff that people got to release and stuff online a little bit better than the actual footage that they showed. It's the same footage, but I liked a
That
little more.
teaser though, that teaser is just magic.
Overall, I was pretty impressed. Like I said, the only one I've not watched yet is Capcom and the PC one, where they were talking about some of the PC games and stuff.
Also, I'm excited for a Sonic game. I think Sonic Superstars looks like a
Oh, yeah,
lot of fun.
it was
I'm
okay.
excited for a new 2D Sonic. I think that'll be a really, really, really cool thing to do. Um, let's see what else.
You have 2 minutes, two
Uh,
and a half minutes.
I platinum Spider-Man again because I have nothing else to do till October.
I finished Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
And you can go watch him do that.
You can, yeah, that's up
All the
on.
pain and suffering, you can go watch it.
I left a lot of it in. I thought I was that's an interesting. I can say that real fast. When I was editing those to post, I only edited out the pause screens and a lot of the steel building stuff because I find that stuff boring, and I figured the audience would as well.
Mhm.
And also, I made my own fast travel with editing for that game. There's probably about 4 hours worth of footage that was just me trying to backtrack. In the
You'll
first
love
part.
Survivor for that reason.
Yeah, that's one of the main things that I'm looking forward to. I'm not gonna lie to you. But with that, I made the executive decision because I said a lot of I screamed and I hit things. I was so pissed off. There's a certain part in the episode that's gonna come out on Monday, which says I almost rage quit because I almost did rage quit, and I was like, should I leave it in? And I was like, it's content. People are gonna enjoy the fact that I'm so pissed off.
Going from that content to something you're going to play by yourself, you went from like a non-Final Fantasy person, like win 16, win 16.
Literally, it took over my. I watched them on YouTube. I can't remember her name, and she started playing Final Fantasy VII. I was like, "Oh, should I stream that? That looks really fun." And then I was like, "But is that the one I want?" And then I was going through all the ones, I was going through all these different lists and stuff, and everybody's. And Final Fantasy 16 is the first M-rated game. It's about revenge. It's set during medieval times. They base it around Game of Thrones for a lot of the storytelling. And I was like, okay, hold on. And then the demo came out, and I was like, hold on, just stop it. I should not have played the demo. I regret it though. I should have played it tomorrow because it's 10 days. It's too long. They should have gave us to the week of release, like the Monday before to get
Well, the
people
good news
excited.
is your progress goes over,
I
so you
still
don't have
think
to
I'm.
do it.
I
You're
have a
going to play
feeling
it
I'm
again.
gonna. I think I'm gonna restart it from the beginning because how could I not? It's so beautiful. The opening
Yeah,
is
no, I
so
agree.
good. It's just so good. It's so good. I cannot wait. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Thursday
A
cannot
game you
come
did not
fast.
think would be your most anticipated game of the year is now just it's up there.
I haven't watched shit for it. I had no desire. Zachary was like, "Did you check out the Final Fantasy 16 showcase that they did for PlayStation here come?" No, why would I do that? I've watched it 3 times. Yes.
He's devouring anything he can get.
The timer is over, by the way.
Oh.
Oh, let me very quickly ask you before we jump off this random shit for longer than 10 minutes. How did you feel about Outlaws? That's my only question for you for Star Wars. How did you visually? I think it looks stunning.
I agree. I am so excited for the game. However, it's not coming to the little guy sitting next to me. That is an Xbox only game. So that makes that a lot more difficult to get my hands on. And so because I want to be able to sit down and experience and play that game. Same thing with Starfield. Starfield completely changed for me. I'm really excited for that game now. But again, does that mean I have to get an Xbox for myself
The
again?
only good thing about an Xbox is it's like $300 compared to the 500 piece of change that is the PlayStation.
Well,
It's significantly cheaper.
if that happens again, I'm getting the black version. I'm getting the 1 terabyte. I'm not going to get the white one again because I think the
Well,
charcoal black one looks cooler.
I mean, here's the thing. I really don't care. We download and delete games so much here, just on a regular basis, that a terabyte is not really necessary for me
I can tell
personally.
you right now, I do not have any storage on my PlayStation. I can tell you right now the consistency of my games. I have on my games list as of right now, I have minus demos, I have Spider Man, Transformers Fall of Cybertron, Mortal Kombat 11, and Spider Man Miles Morales. I have got games that are planting and getting ready for other games. I don't have anything else on there.
Yeah, no, we have a bunch of shit. But then again, we also have an extended hard drive for all our PlayStation 4 games. We
Yeah.
have so many different PlayStation 4 games that are downloaded on it, but it takes up a different space.
So yeah, same thing
For
with mine.
our PlayStation 5 games, we each pick two or three, and then that's kind
The
of
three the 3 PS5 games are remastered Spider-Man, Miles, and Mortal Kombat. Those are the only ones I have on there because I'm trying to get ready for all of them in September and
Yeah,
October.
mine. The only game that I have that's on there that's actually like playable is Jedi Survivor,
Mm-hmm.
which is 130 gigs. So like, it's not like it's a small little guy.
No. Did you see the fucking size of Mortal Kombat 1 on PC?
Oh no, but I'm sure it's ridiculous.
It's 135 gigs on PC. It's
I just,
it's nuts. Why?
it's probably gonna run like shit. I'm
Oh,
gonna
I
be
know it
honest with
is.
you.
Also, Warner Brothers, NetherRealm. I love how you share your games with all the systems. Mortal Kombat 1 is not going to run on the Switch. That is going to be the worst version of Mortal Kombat 1 to play. And it's still 70 on the Switch, which is ridiculous.
The preloading size for Final Fantasy 16 is 90.1 gigabytes.
I have the room, so I'm good.
I also have the room. I made for
When
me.
does when does pre-download start? I think it's the 20th.
Yeah, I think it's Wednesday. No, Tuesday.
Yeah, so that'd be the
No, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. It's Wednesday night, 21st.
because it comes out on Thursday, doesn't it?
Yep, it does.
I'm so happy I'm off Saturday. I get to just sit, much like with you. I get to sit down, relax, enjoy the game. Because
Yep, I'm just that's I literally I blocked out my weekend. I was like, sorry guys, I'm gone. All right.
have you looked up and seen how long it's going to take to beat it?
Yeah, I'll tell you what the rumored size is because the review copies have not come out yet.
I've heard about maybe 80 hours.
Hold on, my internet is failing me. So do a quick Google. Do a quick at Google. But yeah, I'm excited for Jedi Survivor. I think that's gonna be like really fun.
It's fantastic
to play. I've heard nothing but really good things, which is really exciting. And I was really shocked. IGN gave it a 9, which is really rare. So like that also kind of makes me like a little bit more interesting. Like, why didn't you just give it your average 7, IGN? Didn't want to piss anybody off that time, did you? Okay, length is what we're looking at. So to complete, according to the director, is about 35 to 40 hours worth of time.
That's not bad.
I don't know if that's just if you just streamline the main story.
Straightforward and don't do anything extra.
Yeah, it's not an open world game, is what it is. It's
there's side quests you can do, but it's not the way to the extent.
They did it from how I understood. It's kind of like Uncharted is, where you have like you're subjugated to like one area for this like particular thing, but there's multiple things you can do in that one area. Some of them are like really story based, some of them are not, type of thing. I'm really excited. I'm really curious.
I'm super excited. And you still haven't played Resident Evil 4.
No. I'm waiting. Resident Evil 4 is I'm playing all of them. The first one, second one, and third one, and fourth one in towards October.
To give you an idea, Resident Evil 4 is my second favorite game I've played this year. I absolutely adored it.
Well, I'm doing Jedi Survivor. For anybody who wants a little sneak peek, we're doing Jedi Survivor, and then I'm going to play God of War Ragnarok. I'm actually thinking of starting it over completely on the PlayStation 4 and not playing it on the PlayStation 5 at all.
What?
It's just easier. It's just easier for me personally. Just because
the other good thing is that you're not losing any graphics wise. It's still
I've seen it on the PlayStation 4, and I've never I didn't feel that attached to like the DualSense controller and stuff. And it's been so long. Like I played it when it first came out, and so I'm excited to kind of just start from scratch. So I'm thinking of
I think next year I'm gonna pull a U and play God of War and Ragnarok back to back again, just so I can play. Because this year I got too much on my plate. I can't start Ragnarok again this year.
I'm sure I'll play it again for the PlayStation 5 and stuff. I'm gonna first take a look and see if I like the quality of it on the PlayStation 4.
It's fantastic.
But I think that's how I'm going to experience that one. Just because it's just easier. Jedi Survivor I have to play on the PlayStation 5. I don't have a choice. Or I play it on the PlayStation 4 probably. Only for the simple fact it's just simpler for me to pull out my Pro and plug it up to my computer, then travel my PlayStation 5 for 3 hours in here, back to the bedroom, back in here type of thing. It's just not. It's not really viable because I only have one. Because I mean, you're lucky if you have more than one.
Did you have to release a mortgage in order to get that second one? Like, what'd you do?
Yeah, like it's ridiculous. So, Zachary, I have to ask the age-old question: what have you been watching?
Well, Jake, I saw Transformers again for the second time on Tuesday, so that was awesome. Love it. It's so good. In honor of this little piece, I watched Toy Story again. But there is a joke with that movie now. You can ask Mom about it. It's so hard to watch the opening of Toy Story now because of the song. I won't explain why, but it is. Let's see. I've just asked Mom. It's funny. Let's see. Oh, what else? I watched Mowgli on Netflix, the Andy Serkis directed Jungle Book movie. Criminally underrated. That movie is fantastic. I watched all of Burt Kreischer's specials because I wanted to watch The Machine, but now I have no desire to watch The Machine. I enjoy the specials though. I watched Jim Jeffries, always fun. Trying to think. Oh, Justified. We are currently in season 3. We are getting through it. Dad loves it. It's a fantastic show, and I'm getting ready for Primeval. And if you've never seen Justified, think about it as Logan without the claws. That's what Justified is. It's really good. I highly recommend Justified. It's on FX on Hulu. Go watch it. And yeah, it's pretty much it. Highlights being Justified and Transformers. What about you, buddy? What you been watching? Ready for my list?
So honestly, my list is really small. I haven't really had time to like really watch anything. I saw Spider-Man.
Huh?
I saw Transformers the same day. I watched The Idol.
How was it?
So that's why I thought I could take a little minute here and to talk about it for a quick second for anybody out there who's wondering. There are certain parts of it that are really, really bad. My big takeaway from it, okay, The Weeknd. Everybody says he can't act. He can't line read, so I'm assuming he can't act since he can't line read. It's pretty bad. There's a particular sequence in the second episode that's one of the most just no. But it's really interesting because under the regard of everything that has to do with like Willie Rose Depp's character and the exploration of like music and what that is for like a pop star on such a high level, super interesting, very intriguing. Like that's why you watch The Idol, okay? Everything else that has to deal with The Weeknd, like his whole entire side arc, not necessary. Like the porn angle of it, and I'm gonna call it the porn angle of it. It's pretty graphic. Like it's really graphic and stuff, and it's like really dark sex stuff. Sorry for people out there. This is an explicit podcast. I can talk about whatever the fuck I want, and it's a really really dark, stuff. There's an allusion to like glass being used in certain areas and stuff in the second episode that like just makes
made me uncomfortable.
It's not shown, but it's very much alluded to. That's what happened. It's also like I have good props where props is due though to like sound design and editing. It's supposed to make you feel very anxious. It's kind of like the whole point of the show. You're supposed to feel anxious because the main character feels really anxious.
Man, and I bet that's great for you.
It's a good time. The second episode, the first half, the good part, the part that like is genuinely watchable. The second half gets a little not so watchable, but either way, it's so anxiety reducing. Like I watched it at a bad time. I shouldn't have, and it just made everything worse.
Euphoria did the same thing to you.
Will I continue on? Yeah, because I'm really intrigued. I'm really curious to see how this is going to like explode. You can tell type of thing. My only thing, and this is really graphic. I'm sorry. Supposedly, this girl is supposed to throw away her entire life over the best sex that she's ever had,
Mm-hmm.
and I've seen that sex scene. There's no way that's the best sex you've ever had. If that's the best, honey, you're a pop star. Go get you some good dick because this is just sad. Like, I'm not joking. That's like part of the point of the show is that he comes in and like rocks her world, and yet like there is no world that's been rocked.
Anything else you've been watching so I can make this outro a little bit easier to segue to?
You're gonna say ding-a-ling here in a minute, so I'm just talking about it. In other ways. So I watched that. I also watched the first episode of Dead City because they released it really early on AMC Plus.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the finale for Fear the Walking Dead, it comes out the same night type of thing, and so they wanted Fear
And
the
that's
Walking
the series finale for Fear,
mid-season
right?
finale. It'll come back in the spring, but so we watched that like on Thursday or something, and the premiere doesn't happen until tonight at 9. I'm definitely rewatching the premiere. I was a very big mixed bag for me. I also started Alias for a secret project that I'm working on for writing. That was the TV show that we all agreed on that I should watch. I've seen a lot of spy movies. Like I don't even know what all they are. I literally found a whole weird genre on Peacock and on Netflix of really B-level spy movies. And so I've seen a lot of weird shit in that regard. All action, pretty good. Moral story, you're in a spy movie, you're gonna have a good action sequence. Good for them. I've been watching Alias. I think I mentioned that I'm like 6 episodes in. It's great. Miss Jennifer Gardner. It was a good choice. That was a good choice. I'm kind of getting wrapped into the story though. It's kind of doing the opposite effect The Walking Dead had when I wrote Project Sarah because I already seen it. But yeah, that's where I'm at.
By the way, Jacob, where can you watch Alias?
Oh, on Disney Plus. Weird. It's not graphic or anything. I mean, it's
But
nothing
it's just
worse.
a weird place for
It's
you to
just a
find it.
weird place. You know, and you know, also it's annoying. Like I can't find Dark Angel anywhere or any of these other ones, but Alias I can find. Alias I can find. They came at the same time, and Alias is streaming. But Dark Angel, I have to pay $97 for the first season on Amazon to buy. No, thank
F
you.
that.
It's like bullshit.
Remember the Dark Angel game we played all the time?
No, I don't.
We played a Dark Angel game.
No, I think you're thinking of the Tomb Raider game. Hold on. I'm curious. Hold on. Oh my god, it's all coming back to me. How do I get a hold of this? How do I play this? Hold on. Hold on. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's on Steam. Okay, I don't want to. Is it really? Like, is it like what I think it is? Is it not? Damn it. Some fucking fantasy bullshit. Hold on. Okay, that's a different conversation. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's all coming back. It's so much in my brain.
We played that game religiously.
Oh my god. How do I find this?
Well,
Where do I go?
Hang on. Before you jump into all of this, as always, guys, thank you very much for watching the episode. Make sure to like, rate, subscribe, hit that ding-a-ling bell, ding-a-ling the hint. You know, like, rate, subscribe, do the things, hit the comment section, that fun stuff. We'll see y'all in the next one. Bye, y'all. Really screw.